Alrighty guys, welcome. How are we all doing? Hope we're all well. Morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening. So I hope you're all doing well guys. Welcome to another edition of the London session on this Friday. So obviously just had some high impact news released not too long ago on the pound. Let's see how it did come out. So GDP came out better than the forecast. So what that would probably likely suggest is that there is growth in the economy. I think also yesterday with the monetary policy statement, the rhetoric from the Bank of England is that there is more of a softening now. So what they're suggesting is there's more people now, I think, claiming. Hold on, let me start this again. I'm sorry guys. Sorry guys, I was all prepared and now I forgot my train of thought. So basically it's come out as a positive. What they come out and said is that they're likely going to look to cut rates shortly, probably within the next meeting around June, July, and there could be a chance that they do actually start to cut some rates. So probably a negative for the actual currency itself, but obviously good for the economy. So interesting to see what comes out of that. So I think a bit of a softening coming out of the euro sector and obviously UK. So leaning towards potential rate cuts sooner than probably the US, which is still a little bit under the wraps of the inflation problem. So interesting to see what came out of all that. And anyway, I'll do what I do best and I'll stick to the technicals, guys. So if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button. And I'll get stuck into it today. Moving forward, I'm not in any trades. I literally just got in. It's the first I've looked at the charts all day long, other than this morning when I did send in some analysis for the Discord group. So GJ is just broken out off the back of the news, which is all good. So let's see what we can come up with moving forward. And as always, I will start with the weekly time frame. So on to the weekly, and that to me is forming a very strong bullish candle. Obviously now it's high probability it's going to close a strong candle. So seeing this once again, I'm going to go down to the 4-hour and M30 and see where we potentially could pull back to, just to gather a little bit more liquidity, form a support, and potentially head back up towards the current candle's high and potentially create a higher high moving forward into the last day of the week. The daily also gives us added confidence for that to happen, seeing we have a high low, higher high. Candles are now forming quite strong bodied, so nothing suggests to me that we're ready to pull back just as of yet. There's still strength right now in the pound. Not going to mark anything just yet. We've got still room to the upside of the daily. Technically we are bullish in structure, and what we do have is the counter probability to the upside. Actually, I'm going to mark in the previous daily candles high and see whether that's a decent level for price. That price could potentially pull back to form a support before we head back up. Looking at the 4-hour, once again, this is a difficult, tricky one. Once again today, that's a bearish candle. It changes by the day. So therefore, technically, we are bearish in structure, but we are trending to the upside, creating consistent higher lows, higher highs. So that suggests to me that at the moment, we still could continue to the upside, but I'm looking to the left to see what we've got. We're approaching a level of resistance here to the left, so I'm just going to mark that in. Still got a fair bit of margin to it though. Obviously we've just broken that previous resistance from yesterday. We have not yet closed above it, but looks like we could do so potentially in the next 2 and a bit hours. I'm just going to mark in the most recent support here. I'll mark in some levels on the M30 as well. And we are bullish with a little bit more margin to the upside, probably about, by the looks of it, 25-30 pips. Onto the 30-minute. Now I'm just going to adjust this down, this zone a little bit. All right, so that's a 4-hour zone, it's a major zone, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mark in the most recent level that we've broken out of. All right, so they're going to be my zones on DJ on the major and minor zones. Actually, I'll put that back in. All right. So we're obviously an uptrend on the 30-minute as well. So we've got structure therefore to the upside. We've got weekly, daily, and 30-minute bullish. 4-hour trending bullish as well. A little bit more margin to the upside. For me, there's no entry now, just as it breaks. First of all, I'm not prepared for it, but second of all, I don't yet have that catalyst to give me the confidence. It's just going to continue up. The previous 15-minute candle closed a very weak bullish candle. At that closed a bearish candle, and this one was about to close the next 4 minutes and close bullish engulfing, then I think it'd be a valid option to buy it, but we don't really have that just yet. So what we could do is just create an upper wick and again flip just based off that previous candle. So I'm just patiently going to be waiting at the moment for a pullback to retest that zone. We've not even done so yet on the 5-minute. So for me, buys anywhere above 195 flat at this stage. Obviously it's a key level psychological round number, so as long as we remain above it, I'm going to be looking for a pullback to that level, look for my catalyst in price action to potentially buy it, take it back up towards the current daily candles high. Do have the volume and momentum, then there is a high probability we will eventually come towards that 195.50 sort of level. You could almost drag this up, but I'll just leave it for the time being. Now as for the sells, well, further buy options, first of all, we pull back and form a support really above 194.80. That to me would be a level I would also be interested in buying from, because within the current daily candle form support, most recent support at that level, we are to continue bullish. We should respect that support, form another support at that level if we do pull back and head back up to the upside to retest the high. However, if we begin to pop below that support formed on the way up, what we're likely to do at that point there is pull back deeper, flip the 30-minute structure at the same time, and probably head back down towards that 194.50 sort of level. So for me, the confirmation would be, first of all, structure flipping bearish, and then I look for the sell option. Now for further sells right now, I need to be careful because it's in a big uptrend at the moment. All the momentum is to the upside. The weekly candle has just been a straight push to the upside basically. So what I like to see if I was to look for any sort of sells is if it doesn't pull up to the 4-hour resistance, what I like to see it do just now is form a support, pull back, all high, equal high, that type of scenario, double top, whatever you like to call it. And as price starts to close below, as long as you got the margin, may look for a sell, a cheeky little sell, take it back down. But at the moment, I'd rather just, being a Friday as well, guys, I'd rather just stick with the trend, stick with the bias, wait patiently for price to either pull back or give me my catalyst potentially upon a pause. Maybe if we get that little pause sequence on the and move to the upside, 15-minute closing bearish, followed by bullish engulfing. You guys know the rest. We can potentially look for a limit order buy based off that. But at the moment, just need to patiently wait for GJ. Let it do its thing. We've just had the news, so all good. We'll see what happens once London doors open in the next 16.5 minutes. In the meantime, let's take a look at gold. Gold also doing likewise at the moment. Pushing to the upside. Great push by the looks of it from the open of the day, so wow. Alright, so looking at the weekly, and that is a very strong bullish candle. So we're bullish engulfing. Once again, be looking to see where we could potentially pull back to once we go down to the 4-hour M30 more so. Could potentially buy it upon a pullback daily. Structure-wise bullish, counter probability-wise bullish. Higher highs, higher lows. Shouldn't need to break our own low yet again. We're far off it, so what I normally would do is mark in the low of it, but we're so far off it, it's likely not to retest that level during our session. It could do so, but it's unlikely. Good news is we've finally broken out that 4-hour range. To be honest, I was enjoying it because it was giving us some really nice opportunities at either end of it. And by the time we came to the charts, the London session, it was basically all just looking for sells. So it's finally broken out of that range. So now today we need a new game plan. So what I'm going to do is mark in most recent resistance that price is broken out of. Once we go down to the minor time frames, we'll see if we have actually retested it yet. Structure wise, we have flipped bullish. Yeah, we're flipped bullish, so it's going to be bullish across the board by the looks of it on gold. On CDM 30. All right, so I can now just drag this across to most recent price action. I'm not needing to chart up a little bit. I might just do this. All right. So my game plan for gold is pretty much similar to GJ. I prefer to buy it, to be honest. I prefer to be patient with it. It's just creating an impulse to the upside. To be honest, the sells, in my opinion, I'll put it in, but it's likely not going to eventuate during our session. But the cleanest option for the sells would be back below 23.43, that sort of level there. Reason being is, at that point, we'll have 4 hour, obviously pushing back below that previous resistance here to the left. The current daily would be breaking its own low, has a higher low, higher high. So if it wants to continue bullish, it would have no need to pull back and break its own low. If it does and begins to populate support at 23.43, it is likely to make a deeper pullback. But once again, it's highly unlikely at this point, seeing we are really trending to the upside. Pretty clean traffic to the left. Just marking the 30-minute zone here on gold. So I just want to go back to the 4 hour. 4 hours into pretty clean traffic. We burst above the most recent resistance. So that's, yeah. Suggest that we should continue up. And the good thing is, so prior to this impulse, what we have done is closed above that 4 hour resistance, pull back to retest it, and we are now popping back above it. So we don't necessarily need to pull back to the actual 4 hour level, which is that horizontal. We could just tap into this gray zone, which is the high of that the previous daily high. So the high prior to the most recent impulse to the upside. So for me, if we pull back to that level, form a support above 23.5589 roughly, I would look for my catalyst within price action and take a buy back up. Once again, similar to GJ, what I'll be looking for is maybe a little bit of a pause and see what that brings following it. If we get an engulfing candle, maybe look for a limit order. But as far as the sell options, guys, you need to be very careful when prices really trend to the upside. And once again, I will probably require a little bit more data, such as a double top, price starts to close below that minor support form, and tap in, pull away. Then potentially I could consider a peaky counter trend sell. But to be honest, when it's in such an uptrend, what I really prefer to see is at least a 4 hour candle closing back bearish, and then correlating with some lower highs, lower lows forming within the 30-minute and 15-minute. We won't have any of that really on this stream. So right now the focus will be buys. Yeah, not much we can do at this minute. We've missed some moves. And once again, I would not be chasing GJ just now. Was I on the wrong GJ chart again? Oh man. Why did I just, yeah, that's not how it should be, is it? I just spent 10 minutes drawing it up before, and now it's reverted back to yesterday's chart for whatever reason. Bit of a ball ache, but one sec guys, I'll quickly mark it in again. Done it to me 2 days in a row. I have no idea why it does it. It does do is do my head in. But all right, so this GJ buys above, really buys above 195 flat. And buys above the support a little bit lower down. Sells, I need to see more data than a break of the support. There is things, as soon as you break the support around that 194.760, not the cleanest to the left as well. So I'd rather be patient and wait a little bit longer for the sell option if that was to be the case. Back to daily quickly. Yeah, just leave it at that. All right, so they're going to be the zones, guys. So right now the focus, well, they're both pretty much the same. I prefer to trade gold. Nowhere near ready for a potential trade. GJ could provide beforehand, so might focus on GJ's pulling back just now. How long until open? Just under 10 minutes. I'll have a look at GU, guys. Try to get that knock that out of the way. In the meantime, if you could hit the like button, only 7 likes so far. So I've been all on the road all day. I've been so busy, guys, and I still always got you guys covered. I still managed to turn up. No excuses on my end. I even do the analysis from my phone if I'm out and about. So looking at the weekly, so it's now pulling back and almost to its open. Lower high, lower low to the previous. Do have counter probabilities to the downside. See what we got once we go down to the more so the 4 hour and 30-minute daily. So previous daily do bounce back strongly, engulfing candle. Lower low to the previous, higher high. Current candle has broken the high of the previous, so high low, higher high. Structure wise we are bearish, but we do have counter probabilities to the upside, so that would suggest potential for continuation to the upside. 4 hour, we do remain bullish on the 4 hour, still remain above this week. So we've got the weekly, pretty much an indecision candle. 4 hour as bullish, daily as bearish, with counter probabilities to the upside. So once again, guys, you can see how I'm starting to gather different confidences across the different time frames as to what I'd be looking for. And you can probably just adjust this now to that bullish candle. You open that bullish candle, similar to GJ. So we're just broken out of the level. We're pulling back to retest it potentially. So just based off that, we remain above 1.2530 roughly. There's a good chance we will continue to the upside. However, likely not going to be able to get the buy from that support. Could get the buys upon continuation though. So similar to GJ, we're just pulling back if perhaps in the next candle, or if this candle closes weak bearish coming to the open of London, the new candle creates just a bit of a low wick and begins to break above the previous bearish candle's high, then that would be also, in my opinion, a really good option to buy it upon continuation. Further buy options would be price pulls back to respect support formed within the current daily candle, which is at the current daily candle's low. Then we should continue to the upside. If we do pull back and break it, there's high probability we'll pull back further. So that could be an option for potential sells. It's looking a bit cleaner than gold and GJ in that respect. The zones, you seem to have some cleaner areas below the support or potential entries, and to be honest, I'll probably just drag this up. So sells below 1.25134, really buys above it, and then potential buyers upon continuation at this stage on GU. All right, on to NAS. So NAS is going to be a pretty easy one to analyze, guys, because it's still trading within that range. It's coming back to the highs of the range. So just quickly on NAS, I should be marking up fresh each day, but I want to get this done prior to London Open. So what I can see is, though, we're stuck within this 4 hour range. Let's do the analysis. Having a look at the weekly, and it's forming a strong bullish candle. Daily, counter probabilities to the upside. We're out of resistance. Structure wise, we are technically still bearish, but we are trending to the upside. Some pretty clean traffic to the left, but it looks a bit above the resistance just here, the 4 hour. Got another zone over there to the left. So the 4 hour, really, I have to start pulling above 1820, 18,200. There's definitely going to be buy options above that level. You're moving into a clean area, but seeing it's a 4 hour resistance, I would definitely need to wait for a minimum a 30-minute candle closure above tap in continuation. The 4 hour structure itself is technically bullish. The M30 is going to be bullish, so the bias is going to be bullish. We are trying to form a support at resistance, so that could provide for potential sell options if price was to break support. The issue is it's not the cleanest. It really is not clean at all, because once you break one support, you're running straight to another support. So in this case, what I prefer to do on NAS is let it kind of move up. I wouldn't be buying it, because you buy into this 4 hour resistance, which is also into a 30-minute resistance. There's no clean areas to the left hand side, in my opinion, to be buying it right now. So what I prefer to do is let it create a clean move up, form that support. If it begins to break below the support, you're going to be looking for your sell options, and vice versa. If it pops up, creates a clean move up, consolidates, begins to pop above the resistance, you're going to be looking for your buy options. That is simply what I'd be looking at on NAS right now. Is just not clean at all for me to entertain any option personally. The other option would be if it does just drop, reject this level, create a clean move to get cut through all this mess to the left, then pull back, create a lower high. We wait for resistance to form to potentially sell it. And at that point there, you're playing within a cleaner area of traffic if the candle was to actually make a nice clean move down to cut through a lot of the mess to the left hand side. The sells from below. Otherwise, you could look to buy it. It is in an uptrend. It will remain bullish at this stage. Depends where his candle closes, because it could flip at this point here, but pullbacks to 18,088. I would be looking to buy it at this point. Some buys above that level there. It's just pretty choppy. It's in an uptrend, but it's very choppy at the moment. You need to let it cut through, create some clean moves, and then it becomes, in my opinion, more tradable. So that is NAS. And just give me 1 sec, guys. All right, so GJ popping back up. Yeah, I would have preferred if that candle was bearish and we're bullish engulfing on this 15. Still not tapped into this level, which is what I prefer to see. I prefer to be patient. If this candle closes up near its high, price action would suggest the new candle could just likely pop straight up without really needing to create much of a low wick. But personally, I'm not going to chase that. I'd rather it actually pull back, be patient with it, wait for it to pull back to 195 flat. It's not retested it since it's broken it. So I'm just going to trade on the side of caution. It's been a fantastic week. There's no point risking it for the biscuit if you don't need to. For me, I'm chilled. I'm happy with what I've done this week. I'll be patiently waiting. Gold as well. There is no buys for me right now. If you're not in it from low and down, it's one of those ones where unfortunately you probably need to wait for it to set up again. Yes, it can continue to the upside, but gone are those days where I'd be chasing it. That come, 3 years ago, if I saw this 3-4 years ago, I'd be looking to get involved. Probably even just enter just now, to be honest. Probably about 4 years ago. Take a breath in the meantime. Franco, good morning to you, brother. Tony, good morning. Lau, good morning to you. Saxy, why didn't you get notification today? Not sure, brother. I only set it up like 2 minutes before the stream, to be honest, and maybe that's why. Ultrabeck, gold, yep. So if I look at that, Sol, good morning to you. Krish, press the save button, upper right corner. Yeah, it should save automatically. It's on autosave unless I've turned it off. It's on autosave. And it's RSPS, nice background, thank you. Franco, you took G bias. Alright. Thank you for the sub. Let's get the subs up, guys. We're at almost at 800 just now, so at 1000 I'll be doing a special giveaway. And the streams we've been on fire. The winning streak is up to like 10 or 11 just now. Oh wow, nice one. Did you take it? I'm assuming you took it just here as it tapped into that bullish candle's high. So if that's the case, look at that, perfect. Limit order working an absolute treat again. Correct, nice one, absolutely perfect, my friend. Good work, happy to see it. Definitely know someone's been paying attention, so it's good to see, brother. I'm really happy for you. Good work. The limit orders have been my go-to of late. In this sort of situation, it's what I'd be looking for, but it's just too far gone. It's way too far gone to look for that on gold. Even GJ for me, I would have wanted it to happen on the current candle, which is about to close. So we've got London open, guys. And let's see how she goes. So usually in this situation, if we were at a 4-hour resistance and we were popping straight up, we had some candles to the left, I'd be targeting a wick of a candle to the left and just market execute a sell in anticipation of would reject the 4-hour or daily resistance and eventually come down to create a lower wick. At that point you get to break even, and you can sometimes consider securing. Sometimes it's already 10 pips or so, but in this case it's in fresh air, so to me it's not a valid entry. I'd be just patiently waiting right now on GJ. Not much we can do about it just now. I'm not going to go chase it as well, so how's the week been, ladies and gents? Let me know. It's been an absolute, use that word again, an absolute cracker for me. Just picking up where it's left off, all of April. May has been really, really good. Gold approaching a 30-minute resistance. Speaking of gold, we've got some pretty clean traffic. I mean, it's approaching a previous support, which lines up with 30-minute resistance, which on that push to the downside, on that drop to the downside. But gold potentially could come back towards 2400. Doesn't necessarily have to do it today. But if this candle closed a really strong bullish candle, I think there's a high probability that the following candle next week create a bit of a low wick and likely push up towards that 2400 again. Potentially come up towards the all-time highs yet again. The exact same scenario on gold. Had this been at a 4-hour resistance and we popped straight up, I'd be looking to the left, and if I saw some candles, a bit of consolidation, if I saw something like this, and let's just say this was a 4-hour resistance, so this is for education guys, so let's just say we're at this level, which is 4-hour resistance, and this count pops straight up, I'd probably look for usually this level. I'd just mark and execute a sell with the stop loss above whatever the highest point of that resistance is. There's usually gonna be candles to the left a little bit higher up, but in this case I don't have that 4-hour resistance, so what this would suggest to me is it could still potentially push to the upside without needing to pull back and create slow wick. Still a high probability it will eventually create a low wick. May not necessarily do it though in this candle. This candle might take off. We may eventually come back down to create a new range as well. So come back down, form another support, and you essentially trade between the high and that support where it forms. Mr. Phil, good morning to you. Yeah, really good trade, Franco. Nice work. Absolutely killing it, my friend. It's actually an auspicious day for people to buy gold in India today for a festival. Oh, okay. I think the Indian culture is similar to the Thai culture in many respects. When it comes to special festival days and holidays and that, gold is the big thing. It's just very expensive right now though, isn't it? So yeah, it is. Obviously it's moving to the upside. So we've got, once again, we've had some news for the pound. Has there been any breaking news? Global trade revised amid renewal of worldwide goods exports. US dollar dips on weaker job data. Fed's daily says more time needed for restrictive rates to work. So there's a lot of strength in the gold. Weakness in the US dollar at the moment. You got the majors moving to the upside, rebounding. Still think they'll eventually cut rates prior to the election later this year, the US. Just so it looks like they're trying to do something to make cash cheaper. Make borrowing cash cheaper. That type of thing. Obviously, with the elections coming up. But yeah, coming out of the Bank of England, they are suggesting possible rate cuts sooner than later. I know here in Australia, they're still suggesting they could even hike rates before they come down. So That's good for the Aussie. The Aussie's been one of the stronger currencies of late. Franco, GU looking better for buys. Let me remove that trades taken. People pop on, I think we've already taken a trade. And they jump straight back off. Sorry, Franco, GU looks better for buys, waiting to create a bottom wick. Yeah, if GU now breaks its own high again, for sure, that looks really good. But you need to trade, my friend. You've already had a nice win. Or you're just saying it in comparison to GJ. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, so this would be perfect. If this was at a 4-hour resistance, and once again I had a wick over here to the left, you'd be well in the money right now. That's the new entry. Very impulsive, but we're right now in fresh air, so there's no 4-hour resistance to actually, for it to be valid. Well, just usual news, mate. Central bank keeps printing money like there is no tomorrow. Yeah, well, the jobs data coming out of the US, more people seeking unemployment, so less people with money, less people spending money. So that would probably bode well for inflation, to start to get inflation under control. You can see what I mean by this potential entry, guys. Had it been at 4-hour resistance, it would have worked to an absolute T. You'd be 12 pips in profit, you'd be at break even, be happy days. But just so happens to have formed within a range in the middle of nowhere. So nonetheless, it's good to see. So the issue of taking it when it's not at a level of resistance, or opposite vice versa, if you're looking for a similar thing to happen to the downside, the issue with it not being at a level is, how do you know how far it's going to just continue to pop up before it does retrace? You might enter 3-4 pips up and it continues to move, continues to go against you at that point, and then you're not feeling great about it. You might cut it short and then it drops. So that's why I like to have an actual level to focus on, because I'm more confident and comfortable that it could reject a certain point of the 4-hour resistance. So it has to be a 4-hour level, not just the blue zone. It has to be the gray zones. Gray zones signifies 4-hour or daily. And guys, someone actually made me aware that the Discord link wasn't, it said link expired on the YouTube, so I've just updated that. So if anyone wants to join the free Discord, it's there. I've been posting heaps of quality content on the daily. Been doing markups for pretty much every session. Market analysis. Even if I'm on my phone, even if I'm not at home on the PC, I still do an update for at least GJ and Gold. I do video breakdowns with it for NY and for London if I'm on the charts prior to the stream. And that's usually on 4 pairs. So heaps, this is all for free at the moment, guys. So join in, you get quality content. You got this section for fundamentals. That's for free. It's all there. Some links that you guys can have a look at. Also, obviously, we've got the community chat. Good to see people posting charts. Mr. Phil, looks like you're in a nice EJ trade, so you're looking good. I respond to every message. I give feedback. I always strongly encourage people to send charts, ask questions. So do so, guys. Do join it. It's for free. Yeah, there's heaps more to come. There'll be a lot coming in moving forward for the VIP especially, but that isn't open just yet. I've been doing NY twice a week minimum at the moment, NY calls just for Discord members. So it's for free. Jump on. Link is down below in the description, guys. Yeah, so GU looks a lot better for breaks zone high. GU just as a catalyst in price action looks a lot better. That weak bearish closure really should just continue push bullish, but I think it popped up at the open, then popped down. So the next option in GU would be buy it as breaks zone high. So guys, fill me in. How's the week been? Do let me know. I know, Franco, you've had a pretty good week, which is fantastic. I know most of my guys that I coach, guys and girls, have been doing really well, which is always a pleasure to see. I get more thrills out of that in my own trades. I really do. I love it when I see my guys sending me charts of quality entries that I would have taken every day of the week. The GU looks good to continue to the upside. I'm not trading GU. I don't trade it. I am a very disciplined trader, so just because my pairs aren't offering anything right now, I don't jump into something else. I just sit tight and wait. Have a quick look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so 60,000 is a pretty key level on Bitcoin. Pop straight back above it after dropping below it. On the retest, we smashed straight through it again, and we've popped down to form another support above it. So I think as long as it remains above 60, 61 is a better level. But if as long as it remains above 60, I think it's still quite bullish overall. The altcoins look like they're bouncing as well, so everything just follows Bitcoin. All right, guys, give us a like. There's only 11 likes. It's quite frankly not good enough. All right, so we've got the 15-minute closing now. We went such a strong uptrend. What I'd be waiting for is the next candle to close a bearish engulfing. The issue is if it does close bearish engulfing, it's likely going to close it way back down. But normally that would be a catalyst for me to look for a sell. But when we're trending so strongly to the upside, I'd rather wait for that support to form, pull back, lower high, equal high, drop below support. Then that's when it becomes more probable, in my opinion. And I know a lot of time when the price moves strongly in one direction, it's tempting to trade it in the opposite direction, thinking it's eventually going to make the pullback, but you still need to wait for confirmations. And right now, I just don't have any to take that very impulsive sell. So if you don't mind me asking, what would you say your monthly average profit is in the past 12 months? To be honest, I have no idea. I just look at the monetary value. Plus, I have rated the account on quite a few occasions. If I hazard a guess, I'd say it's about 6-7%, to be honest. I'd say about that. I've not, again, I didn't trade all of February. I traded only 2 weeks in March, which was really good, the last 2 weeks. April was very good. May has been even better. And January only traded like the last 10 days or so of that month. But for me, that's not the focus. The focus is just doing the same shit day in, day out and doing it right. Being prepared when I come to the charts, knowing exactly what I want to look for. So I did an educational video for when the VIP's ready to go yesterday about asking yourself what, where, and when, basically. Sorry, what, where, and wait. Sorry, that's the third W. Been a long day, guys. So that's what I do. I just ask myself, first of all, I'm marking my levels. So what are my levels? I mark those in on the 4-hour 30. You guys see me do it on the daily. Then obviously I look to see where I want to get involved. So once I've drawn in my chart, it gives me my options to see where I want to get involved, whether it be at a resistance, selling it, buying it from a support, buying it above the resistance, selling it below support, that type of scenario. And then I just ask myself what I want to see, and that is the wait part of it. And once I get that ticked off, that's when I look to enter. So for me, it's just about doing the same shit consistently day in, day out, because that's what brings me results, irrespective of how big a win or whatever it is, or if I manage a loss. It's all about following the exact same process day in, day out. So it's all about consistency, making it all habit too. So I know when I come to the charts, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's literally habits, like driving a car. I know exactly what I do from the very top to the very bottom. And again, it's just about compounding as well. So if you can get 1% better, each day, each week, you pick up on new things, you create some different rules, you better yourself. At the end of the day, the end of the month, the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the year, that's going to really add up to some really significant results. So that's what the focus should be on, not so much the percentage return. Result, all good, man. Oh, it's all good. Just ask. Yep, all good. You're welcome to ask. Yeah, so in a normal scenario, I'll be waiting for this count to close because we still don't have resistance on any time frame, and it looks like it will drop, and I'm not bothered one bit because this is not in my game plan. This is not in the course that I've put together. What the course would suggest to me in this situation is minimum needs to wait for this count to close. Close the M30 back bearish. But having said that, because we're in the middle of nowhere, we've been in such a strong uptrend, what I would prefer in this case is, like I said, support to form, lower high or equal high, close and break below support, and that's when I am much more comfortable about taking a trade. However, there could be some riskier sell options, but in my opinion, you need to wait 10 minutes. Just wait for that confirmation. Long wick to the upside, or the M30 candle. It does close bearish engulfing. It's likely going to close close to its low, so it's grab liquidity from the upside. And then potentially on the following candle, tiny upper wick, could sell it back down towards 195 flat if you do have the margin. That's what I would personally be looking for if I was to take any trade. Alright, good morning to you, man. Not sure if I'm gonna send a Discord link in, the Zoom link in today, guys. Yeah, I might just chill on my charts today. Yeah, apologies. Just on a Friday. Not sure how long it'll stay on for. Just we'll see what's going on anyway until about the turn of the hour. But at Discord members, I probably will do some updates a little bit later on for NY. But I'm not going to be on an actual NY call, so. So all good, man. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're not done so. You too. You enjoy the weekend, brother, and I appreciate you. And hopefully I'll catch you next week. Take care, my friend. Steve, no need to apologize. All good, man. Appreciate it. I mean, so we're seeing what happens here on GJ. There could be, again, could be cheeky counter trend options. Gold is forming likewise. I just don't like both of them are right in the middle of nowhere. So it could just be a pause before we head up to the actual level of resistance. Same on gold. GJ still has potential room to the upside as well. It taps into this level here though, and so far rejecting. Alright, so GJ, the best option for me would be wait for this 15 minutes to close. Then maybe if it closes quite significantly below the low of that previous bullish candle, sell limit order back at the low of that bullish candle. Anticipation new candle is going to create the upper wick, so you can get in a little bit earlier. Stop loss should be safe if it is to continue bearish above the high of the swing, so the bullish candle high. You're going to get a higher stop loss that way. And you're getting in anticipation that you've got the catalyst on what will be the previous candle. You're rejecting. You're going to pull back likely to create an upper wick on a new candle. Tap into that level to grab some more liquidity before it continues to the downside. So that is what I believe would be the best option moving forward. I know on IC markets, the low of that candle is 195.164. So if you were to consider that option, what I would suggest is check out what the lowest point of that bullish candle wick is, the lowest point of that bullish candle on your broker. And if this closes about 5+ pips below that candle's low, possibly look for to set a sell limit order back at the low of that candle. That's what we'll be looking at. Keanu, good day to you. Now look what gold's done. Not quite tapped into it. Very close though. So you've got a nice strong closure below the consolidation. Had a pull back on the following 5 minute, almost tapping into that support. So it's looking for a similar thing to happen on GJ, but based off the 15. You got a 5 minute support's broken, but the 15 is where I'd probably target for an actual entry, the low of that candle. Once again, it requires this candle closing significantly below the low of that bullish candle, if that was to be an option, in my personal opinion. Also, guys, I'll put this to you for a video over the weekend. Do you want me to do a recap video of one of the trades taken, or would you prefer me to do some educational content? You guys let me know. So I'm going to put a poll into the chat. There we go. Put the poll into the chat so guys can answer it. It'll be much appreciated. Dope, educational. Alright, so the way this candle's pulling back suggests to me it could just be a pause. So right now it would not be valid at all for that sell option. Nor would it be valid for a buy the way this candle is forming and about to close on the 30. 30 is basically closing a doji candle and decision candle, which would normally suggest that if it breaks the low of it, we're likely going to head up. Break the high of it, likely going to head up. Sorry, break low, likely going to head down. Break the high, likely going to head up. So it's usually just either a reversal sign or a pause within price action. But right now, to me, it's not a strong enough confirmation to do either, to be honest. Let me look at a 5 minute. It could be, yeah, sort of valid for a buy in the 5 minute. Yeah, the 5 minute suggests if it breaks the high that it could continue to the upside, but I don't like it. The reason being why I think it could continue is you're creating some high lows, high highs. So depending what you call it, some say it's staircasing to the upside, which it is doing. So if it breaks the high, then it's likely to continue. I was tapping in again and rejecting, so I mean, what you, oh, it's not, sorry, I thought it was 15. It's the 5 minute. If this was the 15 and you had a weak bullish pause, then I think it would be a nice entry to sell on the following candle. But the 5 minutes not a strong enough confirmation. I don't have support on the 15 just yet. I've got nothing, so right now I'll just be chilling on gold as well to be forcing anything. It's the same on GJ, so there's nothing for me right now. Simply need to wait. What's the tally this week? I think we're three. Is it 3 wins or two? No, Monday was a public holiday, so we didn't trade. Wednesday and Thursday were the main days. Tuesday there was nothing on stream. I don't think we're taking a loss on stream for what, about 3 weeks now, 3-4 weeks. To be honest, guys, there's very little difference between a recap and educational video, because the recap is also education, so it's pretty much of a muchness, as they say. Gold has broken a lot of the previous, has not really created an upper wick. Gold now pulled back to create its upper wick and then broke its own low again. That would be not a bad counter trend sell. It's being so it's broken a lot of the previous, so it has no need to pull back up, break its own high. And if it does so, only to pull back down yet again to break its own low, then what likely would have done is just grab a little bit more liquidity from the upside. As soon as it breaks once again, it's likely going to make a deeper pullback. So that is what I would be looking for on gold if I was to take any trade. That's if I was to consider any trade. So once again, guys, you make of that what you will. He and his family? Yep, that's just how I look at gold. Alright, you're in a buy from 2307. Nice one. Way down. Nice work. I was on the charts long after stream yesterday when I did the update for the Discord group. I did update some gold and NAS last night into MY. Last night my time. But other than that, I was not looking at the charts one bit. Was not interested. MY open. Nice work. Around this level. Yep, he just went up and back down again and took off again. Xpiro, gold sells tempting, but last hourly candle was super bullish. Would be more interested in selling from 23.73. Yeah, I agree. The 30-minute resistance still could easily get through that because it's not a 4-hour level. I mean, you've got support to the left-hand side here. So it could react to that. I'm anticipating we will get some sort of reaction to it. So I agree, it would be nice to see price actually pull up to that level and reject, and then look for that double top type of scenario for a potential sell option. But I mean, if it pulls up at this point, then best option is, like I said before, same type of scenario, double top it a little bit lower down. Let it create the support, pull back, lower high or equal high. As soon as it starts to close below support, likely going to make a deeper pullback at that point. Alright, also took JJ from that OB after the crazy news counter today. You're obviously in some nice profits, so well done. Ma'al, what are you suggesting, GJ, buy or sell? Well, it's bullish across the board right now. For me, I'd rather just just be patient with it and let it set up again for potential buy. So the options would be right now, wait for, I wouldn't be interested in really chasing above the high. Yes, it can continue by all means. If you got a bullish engulfing candle here on a 15, then that would be your first potential option. But what I'd rather see, if it doesn't pull back to this support, is a bit of consolidation. Close the 4-hour candle, strong bullish new candle, either pull back to retest this level, creates lower wick, respect it, buy it from 195, or if it just consolidates new candle, creates just a small low wick and begins to break above the consolidation, nice strong closure in the M30 above the high, then I think there's a good chance we'll come up to 195.50 and potentially beyond. Otherwise, I just hang tight on it, see if it pulls up to that 195.50 level, see how it responds to it. If it does form a support and begin to break below its own support on the minor time frame, then that potentially could also be a sell option from higher up. But right now, for me, it's kind of one of those ones where if you're not in it from lower down, I would not feel all that comfortable just chasing it at the moment. And also, I'd be saying, it depends what sort of week have you had. Even if you've had a bad week, then don't force anything. But I've had a fantastic week. There is absolutely no need to undo some of, or to give back some of that profit. I've never given it all back, but to give back just even a partial of it, a little portion of it, there's no need to do so on a less than probable entry, in what in my opinion is less than probable. Alright, watch the 15, 2-leg bear trap and takes off again. Yeah, we'll see, man. See. For me, it's just nothing right now. Not bothered at all, to be honest, by what I'm seeing. I mean, gold hasn't created a steep upper wick, so for me, it'd be nothing on gold as well. It's a matter of patience. Simple. Veg food lover, have you checked Gbpjpy? I have no idea. And if you're trying to promote something on the stream, man, sorry, but if this stupid emoji thing, can someone just type some shit in the chat? I'm gonna have to put you on timeout, my friend. I'll give you the benefit of doubt and only put you on for 5 minutes for now. But if you come on again to try and promote something, I'll just block you for a longer period. Conspiro, I appreciate it. It's exactly what I asked, wasn't it? Alright, so gold's breaking a 5-minute support. You've got another 5-minute support just here. Yeah, it's, once again, for me, it's not ideal. Selling in such a strong uptrend, need to see a little bit more than just that. I don't have 15-minute support, so what I like to see now is, I mean, most of you who are here on the daily would know, because this is pretty much a trade we've been taking from the highs all week when gold was in that range. A little bit of this weak bullish candle closure, bringing that minor support. We still have a strong 30-minute closing bearish, and then as the next 30-minute candle opens, begins to break below of the weak bullish candle. For me, that is the potential entry. Reason being is, if price does form a support, even on the 15, then what we should do if we are to respect it is just head up, potentially create a higher high or retest the high, and continue to trend to the upside. However, we've begun to break the minor support, and what we're likely to do is, with clean traffic to the left, is create more of a impulse to the downside, potentially a deeper correction into the initial move up. So that to me is the safest bet right now. Yeah, GJ is just a little bit indecisive right now. Looks like it may make a bit of a pullback, but there's still no catalyst for me to take any counter trend sell option at the moment. The only option would be bearish engulfing on the M30. The issue with that is there's not enough margin to retest this zone, which we have not yet done so. So therefore, what could happen is if we do pull back to retest it, we could easily just bounce off it, create a higher low, or all the way back up, even within the candle that taps into it. And then you're not, obviously licking your wounds at that point there. So I would personally just be waiting a little bit. BJ is still moving to the upside, so there's a bit of strength in the euro by the looks of it in comparison to the pound right now. Alrighty, well, good to see the little interruption pause play even on the 5-minute is working. Price is tapped into the low of that bullish candle and is rejected. So once again, even if I'm not taking trades, I'm looking to see what's been going on. I'm paying attention to it because it would make me trust this sort of entry more. Because usually when I'm looking for the pause, this type of scenario, I'm wanting to see it minimum on the 15-minute time frame, but I'm starting to see it more and more actually work on the 5-minute. It worked here as well. Price tapped into that support to reject it. This has definitely dropped more than 10, so would have got to the point where I'd definitely be at break even and probably would have secured some pips. So it's good to see it playing out. Once again, doesn't mean I just start trading it based on the 5-minute, because the 15, the higher the time frame, the stronger the confirmation. You can even trade it off the 4-hour or daily. I've seen it work on all the time frames basically. Samil, I think that's a really good suggestion. You got 100 likes a couple weeks back, I think it was. So I think the aim is for a minimum 50 a stream. Been a little bit low of late. I don't know why, because been absolutely on fire on stream. Quality content, quality trades. Been hearing things from a different trader's perspective as well, so it's good to change things up a bit, just to have a listen. Doesn't mean I change the way I trade. I never change the way I trade. Why? Not broke, no need to fix it. It's always interesting to hear things from another person's perspective. All right, let's go around. Is there anything that looks half appealing? BJ probably looks the best, but probably should have been in a move if you were to take it. DA looks okay if it breaks its own high yet again. Price action doing on Bitcoin. So within the current daily on Bitcoin, it's pulled back. Great support. It's approaching its own high yet again. So that could be a potential option. It breaks the previous daily candle high, its own high as well. All right, now it's rejecting. I mean, NAS looks decent as a catalyst. I just want to be trading at this time of day. So what you've got now is a big wick into the 4 hour resistance, closing back weak bullish. Just don't have that 15-minute support just yet. So in this scenario, the options would be to take on the rip, but this time of day, I just will not trust the volume. So the safer option would be just simply wait for this counter to close, but it may not give you that option, it may just drop. But yeah, that looks probably the best as far as a potential entry. But again, not interested one bit in trading it, not right now. German 40, nice move to the upside. US 30, so the indices are rallying. F, how are you, my friend? UJ. All right, so let's do some analysis on UJ while we've got the time. All right, so starting at the weekly time frame, and that to me is very similar to GJ, is forming a very strong bullish candle. So once again, when I'm seeing this, what I'm likely going to be looking for in a 30-minute and 4 hour time frame is where we potentially could pull back to form a support above the previous level on the way up. So if we were to continue bullish, retest the high, and then potentially look for continuation buys as well after we've gathered that more liquidity from the downside, picked up momentum again as well. So looking at it daily, structure wise, I'd say this is one impulse to the upside. I'd say we're technically bullish in structure. I'd be marking a previous daily candle high, which closed with a long wick to the upside, closing back bearish. So if we were to reject and come back down, to respect the high of that candle and remain below it and begin to break the low of that candle. So I feel either side of the high and low could provide for some nice options. Structure wise, we are bullish. We've got the weekly as bullish, we've got the 4 hour as bearish. So it's very similar to GJ by the looks of it. It looks pretty much identical. Be marking that level of resistance. We'll be marking the most recent support. We've got this wick to the left, but I won't be so worried by it at the moment. Similar to GJ, once you break this resistance range to another, but let's just say on a 30 if there is any clean space within this wick to the upside on the 4 hour time frame. So the 30-minute looks to be 10. Oh, it's actually flipped back bullish. So the bias is to the upside as well on UJ. And you're currently rating towards the top third of your range. What's to the left? Yeah, there is no margin. So when it's like this, I'm looking to see where we form support within this range, and I would say if we remain above 155.585 roughly, pull back to that level, form a little bit of support, create an equal high, we would look for a potential bias, take it back up towards the current daily candles high, and then maybe if we do break above that level, there's a good chance we'll head up to the previous daily candles high. But essentially we're just range bound now. So if that's to be the case, I want to see how price reacts to the resistance. If I get my catalyst forming at resistance, I'd look for my sell option to take it back down. And if we pop down to the support, I'd be looking for my buy option to take it long back up towards the top of the range yet again. Now you could adjust these zones a little bit because there are some pretty clean traffic there is some pretty clean traffic on a 30-minute time frame below this support just here. That could be another potential level price could pull back to form a support at if we are to continue bullish. What does that look like on a daily, that level? So it's still respecting its own low. So I would say as long as the current daily pulls back and respects probably that support form within its own candle around that 155.50, so that's a flat psychological number, then I'd be looking for the buy options to take it up. That's probably how I'd be playing it. So it's either going to potentially form a support above that 155.60 or 155.50 for a buy. If it starts to break below that support formed within the current daily candle, then what's likely going to happen is price is going to pull back further to retest 153.30, and there could be some nice sell options below that level of support. So I'd be sells below 155.47. Buys above the support, so above 155.50. Potential buys from 155.60, but I probably prefer it to pull back further, and sells from the resistance, from the 4-hour resistance. That is pretty much what I'll be looking for in UJ. Buys above, I would rather let it create a clean move to cut through that resistance to the left, then pull back, form a support above the previous daily candle's high. And that's when I start trusting trading above that 155.950 flat. So that is UJ. Meantime, there's still no support on gold 15. There's still, to me, it's not ready to take any counter and sell. GJ's pulling back, all good. No confluences, no probabilities, in my opinion, for this sell right now for me to enter it anyway. There's no confirmation, so just chilling, that's all. Alright, so I want to see how it reacts to 195 flat. That's what I really want to see, but as long as it holds 194.80, I'd still be on the side of buys. Once it starts to pop below that level, potentially the sells become on the table to take it back down to 194.50. You'd be creating a low, you're obviously going to be flipping a 30-minute structure, so that would be your option to sell it. Otherwise, buys from really anywhere above it on the pullback. Seeing it is now pulling back, I'd rather it tap into 195, retest that previous resistance, and then look for potential buys above the high before I would look for the buy above the high. I'd rather it retest that zone, because there's going to be a high probability at some point and it will pull back to that level. May not do it today though, could do it moving to next week as it creates a low week, we don't know. But to make me feel more comfortable in buying it above the high, that is what I'd like to see. New 4-hour candle open, this candle's closed strong bullish above what was previously the current daily candle's high and above 195 flat. Let the new 4-hour pull back, creates lower wick, form support above that level or above 194.80. Then as it begins to gather momentum again, push to the upside, that's when I'd be looking for my catalyst to look for a buy above the high, whether it be upon impulse or upon confirmation of a closure above. Well, right now, you just need to let it do its thing, in my opinion. It could still potentially come up a bit further. Even beyond there, you still got quite some room to the next 4-hour resistance. But I'd like to see how it reacts to 23.73. It is a previous 4-hour support and 30-minute resistance to the left. Lines up with the support. And if it did reject, I'd be looking for my signals in price action for a potential sell option. So obviously a bit of structure to form as opposed to just one candle, and then consider sells. Otherwise, if it just begins to melt, be patient with it. Just wait to see where it pulls up at. Where potentially it could come back down to is the previous resistance, which we have not yet retested, above 23.55. Gather some more momentum, form a support, and then head back up to the upside. I would not be interested in selling it just now, guys. Similar to GJ, 4 hours going to close in the next hour and a bit. It looks like it's closing a strong bullish candle. So your option may be to wait for the new counter pull back, creates lower wick. It may not necessarily pull the way back, seeing it's closing quite a distance above. So as long as it creates a proper pullback to create lower wick, forms support, begins to break above some consolidation, form a bit of structure on forming support, a sequence of high lows, high highs, and then the buys could be an option. That is what I'd be looking at on gold. Doc, good morning to you. I appreciate you. I know you've a little worse for wear right now, but appreciate you. Thank you for your effort. Yeah, so that's a wrap, guys. I'm gonna head off because I'm definitely not gonna get a trade for the time being. Gator, good morning to you. A little bit late, my friend. I'm about to head off for the week. About to sign off. It's been a really good week, guys. Once again, very consistent. Just goes to show you, just follow the plan, turn up each day, do the same shit over and over. Do your analysis, mark up your charts, ask yourself what, where, and then you just wait. Very simple. That's all we do here on Analyze, Confirm, and Trade. That's it, guys. So just the Discord members, and if you're not already joined, make sure to do so. The link is now updated, so it should be valid now. It's for free. Join. I'll do some analysis moving forward. Pre my GJ, Gold, and Naz. Probably won't do GU for today. In the meantime, guys, if anyone is interested in any of the services I do provide, obviously the course is out, the course is ready. I've had some really good feedback so far from some of the students. So also the private coaching, yeah, I'm slowing down a bit with that, but do contact me if you are interested. And in the meantime, the recap video has won the poll, so I'll be doing a recap over the weekend, so keep an eye out for that. If you haven't, hit the like button on the way out, and guys, trade safe in CNY. There is some high impact news to come a little bit later. It's consumer confidence, I think it is. Where is it here? Consumer sentiment, yeah. So be aware of that, and that is 2 hours into NY session. And that's about it, guys. That's a wrap. Thank you once again, one and all, for your support throughout the week. I look forward to seeing you all live once again on Monday from 6:30 a.m. UK time. Until then, my friends, take care. Cheers. Bye for now.